Yeah. I've been listening to the All Beatles channel all the time. I used to drive my friends nuts in college. Made them go to a Beatles convention, which turned out to be horrible. It was sort of like a Star Trek convention, but worse. Super Beatle nerds, etc. Anyway, I'm just leaving Yogananda's Temple of Self-Realization Fellowship where I go. I'm a Kriyaban. I have a title. I've been initiated. That I've been with Yogananda for 35 years or something, since I was a kid. Spiritual correctness. I was going to just put the quote here. Real spirituality is not spiritually correct. A real spirituality is not spiritually correct. This is why in scriptures you'll have sayings like, and again I use the Christian one because most Westerners are inculcated, imprinted, programmed with, the Judeo-Christian thing. God works in mysterious ways. Yeah. God is no respecter of persons, meaning of personas, the Greek word persona, an ego, an id entity. Source is no respecter of that. Source is bigger than the programming, bigger than the correctness, the social, spiritual correctness, the political correctness. It is much bigger than that. So, one thing you'll run into, we can look at it at the identity politics in America, the social justice war. Here's really good people we're wanting to save the earth, we're wanting equality, gender equality. These are noble ideals. These are heart ideals. But when it goes into correctness, it gets insane. It gets crazy. We actually hurt people. We have a professor in Berkeley, the founder of the free speech movement, hidden behind a mask, an assistant professor, reaching out sneakily between and taking a bike lock, the heavy metal piece, the fat piece, and just slamming a guy over the head with it. So when and they've hunted him down and they're going to prosecute, and he's attained. But hiding as an assistant professor in a University of Veritas. University means universal truth. Veritas means truth. Ver, universe, oneness of truth, a universal truth. So, with good intentions of what? Gender equality and getting rid of racism, you turn into an assistant professor at a college that reaches out and smacks some guy over the head that needs stitches, bleeding profusely, with a bike lock? So, political correctness goes insane. The exact same with spiritual correctness. Real teachers like Babaji Sai Baba will say, love my unpredictability. Because they act in the moment. They are the moment. They are the uprising, the overflowing, the fountaining, the upwelling of what does the Tao want to do in the moment. That's very different than spiritual prohibitions or shoulds, spiritual shoulds, or you should be this way. That's completely different. So a real spirituality is not spiritually correct. I go to Yogananda's meditation, love it. Because I can have real communion there with Shiva, Babaji, Lahari Mahashaya, Yogananda, Swami Sri Yukteswar, in many sense Krishna, Jesus. Because there's been 50 years of holding space in there, so it makes it a nice, accessible place. But spiritual correctness creeps in everywhere, of course. In yogic, in spiritual movements, it's the beatific shining light face. So there's nothing wrong with that. So Yogananda plays along with it. He goes, yep, we'll do the spiritual correctness, because it's preferable to full-on letting your demons run amok, opening Pandora's box, which we do with the ayahuasca ceremonies for sure, and you need to. You have to open your Pandora's box for real healing. But that can be incredibly overwhelming and very scary, and no wine before it's time, no spiritual truths before you're ready for them. We're all spiritual 3-year-olds, on earth by the vast, vast majority. So revealing the deep pearls of wisdom looks insane. If someone who's preaching real non-duality, real oneness, they will look insane to program people. They will really scare them, and this is why they try to kill them. So spiritual correctness is everywhere. I break the rules a little bit with it by using the F word or, showing my emotions. This is part of the spiritual correctness, that you're supposed to be like Eckhart Tolle, who I love. I got his CDs right here in the car. Awesome, but he has to be so sweet and so calm and so gentle. And even then he'll be called a Satanist by the religious nutjobs, and a threat of assassination, literally. And Eckhart Tolle, with his soft sweaters and absolute ahimsa, peacefulness, demeanor, will be at the threat of an assassination from religious nutjobs, from spiritually correct people, I walk the dogs in this park right here, and there's a guy here who walks barefoot. He's Armenian or Croatian or something, and he's yakking about Jehovah to everyone all the time. He's completely on program. He's possessed. And that spiritual correctness is very easily brought into violence, whether you're an assistant professor in the Berkeley area, sneakily, cowardly, hitting someone with your bike lock, because you ride the bike to not participate, it gets twisted, whether it's spiritual, political, social, the correctness. So the real spirituality is no respecter of persons, but it does it with love. Here's the difference. Buddha is spiritually incorrect, but he does it with compassion and love. He doesn't do it just to hurt people or show them their idiocy. God doesn't do that. Source, Father, Mother does not show people how stupid they are. God, Source, Mother, very accurately, very completely customized just to us, just shows us our next step. And while we're going through harsh wake-up calls because we're addicted to certain beliefs or spiritual correctnesses, God is super compassionate. God doesn't throw salt in the wounds and go, see, you're a fucking idiot. Or, you're stupid for believing that. That's not Source's way. So Source is very much, so Yogananda was just telling me, sitting in the meditation, that yes, this spiritual correctness is, of course, in a sense, suffocating. It's not allowing expression of a free spirit soul. But it is also a structure that helps people make contact. When you're in rehab, which we are, you need some structure. When you're going through heroin detox, which we are on this planet, cult detox, programming detox, you need some structure. It's helpful. It's helpful to have some discipline and a little bit of rules. People get really helped by the Army or the Air Force. My sister did, and other souls will chafe terribly and go, this is horrible. It's autocratic, dictatorial, controlling. So the real spiritual path does not follow spiritual correctness. The real spiritual path is not spiritually correct. Webcast coming up in a half hour. courseofawakening.com. Sign up for the class if you want to. On the webcast, I can be a little bit more direct, and we focus on actually downloading, receiving the energies into your cellular structure. The real spiritual path is not about knowledge, no ledge, standing on the ledge of knowing. It's about diving off into it. And so I can do that a little bit more for myself and you can ask questions or just receive the energies, starting in about a half hour. courseofawakening.com. I had left the music on in my car while I was in the meditation. Apparently my car likes the Beatles channel too. All right, much love. Talk to you later.